Good morning once again. We are now live streaming on Facebook as well. So welcome all of you back to our next session, very important session. And also welcome those of you who are watching live on Facebook as well. So thank you for joining us today for the ASEAN Student Science Project Competition 2024. And once again, you're here with me, Jasnapat Thandikul, your host for today. So before we moving on to the next session, we would like to prep you a little bit because you're gonna have a competition coming up next, right? And now your project is just a small project for your school project, but just like what I said, maybe it could turn out to be a huge project like international scale or global scale in the future as well. As a researcher myself, I was in your shoes before. So I started with just a mini project from my college, and then my grad school project. And then I also get to judge the project as well. So I was in both sides already, so I totally understand you how excited it is. And just like what we keep saying, the most important thing for the science project is not just like winning the project or winning the competition, but the process, like learning process that you will get to learn when you build your project with your friends, with your teachers, and also collecting all those experience that you will get from today and during this week. That's a key important thing, and including the collaboration and also network with your friends. It's a great chance that you guys get to be here together from 9 countries. That's something that I never get that experience when I was at your age. So please take the most out of it, okay, and enjoy your moment. And of course, in order to prep you all, our future innovators, our future engineers, who knows, we would like to give you some tips and tricks from our industry experts. So today we have our special guest to give a pep talk to encourage you and to cheer you up for your future career or future projects. So we have Dr. Taweesak Bunluesin, the Public and Government Affairs Manager from ExxonMobil Limited, and he will give a pep talk in the topic of keys to success in the global arena. So accelerating your project to the global scale, please welcome Dr. Taweesak Bunluesin.
สวัสดีครับ Good morning students, teachers and guests of honor. Be attentive. I address student first. It's a reverse order. Normally, like ท่านรองสุรวงศ์ he addressed distinguished guests first and then teachers and then students. This forum is for you. That's why I address you first. And I will talk about the key to success in the global arena. But before we go on to talk about the success in the global world, I would like to come back to my childhood, talking about what I have learned in grammar school, because before I have reached where I am today, it's all the product of collective experiences, cultivation. That's why it's good to understand where you're coming from, and I will tell you how I run and manage my life up until now. I'm a much experienced, meaning much older than you, so some of the examples may be no longer relevant to you, but the thinking process, the core values, the experience, the methodology, I think is still very applicable and food for thought for you to take back home today to brighten up your upcoming journey. So I would like this session to be as spicy, as tasty, as inspiring, thought-provoking to you, to some of you, not all of you. But before I go on, I would like to divide my talk into 3 different episodes: in-country education, overseas education, and my work chapter. So start off with my in-country education. I was pretty good looking when I was young, I went to a school called Saathit Prasan Mit. Saathit means demonstration school, and the school itself belongs to the Department of Education in the college. So the way it was taught is a bit different from many schools at that point in time. At that time, maybe there were only 4 or 5 Sati schools in Thailand. Nowadays, there are plenty of Sati schools. So students were encouraged to speak out, to be creative, to be engaged in everything, And by the way, here's my mom. My parents were also the professors at the Department of Education. But they didn't teach at the school. They taught at the college level. So there was a heavy linkage between my teachers and my parents because they talk all the time, right? So in that sense, I was a pretty obedient kid, very compliant, very conforming. I didn't want to deviate from the rules, as a grammar school student, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, right? But nevertheless, I always think that duty first. That's how I was cultivated. Here's my beautiful sister. She's 2 years older than I was. She decided to go to a different school because she didn't want to get spied on her behavior. So she went to a girls' school across the street, Watana Academy. But she was my role model because at that point in time, before I start school, I recall vividly that she got good grades. And my parents were so proud of her. So I wanted my parents to be proud of me. So my mission is to get as good grades as my sister. So she's my role model in a sense, But then again, I got some problem with my health. Things are not always rosy, right? I got good grades. I was a good student, a teacher pet in a sense. They love me so much, But I got asthma. I got allergy. I am a frequent visitor of the hospital in the winter time. I got asthma attack all the time, And that actually had shaped my life in a way that I became to accept some restriction. I became to embrace the fact that I couldn't go out to do the long-range swimming, to do outdoor activities with my friends. I recall vividly, I had to sit along the poolside where my friends were enjoying swimming. I couldn't do that, But that, again, allowed me to internalize myself and to accept the truth and live with it peacefully. And that later part of my journey became very beneficial skill. I would like to talk about my parents. My dad's on the other page. My dad is what we call a Renaissance man, meaning his left side of brain and right brain are equally functional, support each other so well. He's quite an artistic. He plays music, he does sport, STEM education, superb. Very good at painting, everything you can ask for it. So, and he's a go-to person. I was thankful to have my dad who was willing to spend time grooming me, playing ping pong with me, playing tennis with me, playing takraw with me. My mom, on the other hand, is a very organized person, very strict, very disciplined. And that actually grew me the other way around. I became a lot more organized because if I don't do things neatly, my mom will come and ask me, why do you want this, you want that? Otherwise, she will ask me to clean up everything. So my parents have molded me to be who I am today. So I would like to give the credit to them. I was thankful to have them to support me all along. Actually, but I would like to tell you that at the end of the day, right, this is my grammar school and this is my secondary school. So things have changed a little bit. Once you get older, it's still called the same Saathit Prasanmit School, but different campuses. They are next to each other, different administration, different principal. But going to a new school is an eye-opener in a sense that junior high school, right, grade 9 to grade 7 to grade 9 is always challenged. People start acting strange sometimes, acting weird. They're in the process of turning into adults, in a sense, right? So I have to adopt my skill, not only for academic, but for socializing as well, new friends, new teachers, and but I still to continue to do my duty first. I love my discipline because you know what? Discipline gives you foundation. I never hate my routine. I love my routine, and it gives me foundation to what I believe in what I'm doing. But I got to practice some new skills, teamwork, team player, presentation, persuasion. I had to do a lot of talking between me and my teachers, my friends and my teachers, because I am the only one who understood both sides. It took time to understand where they're coming at, and sometimes they talk past each other. So I have to be an ambassador in a sense, trying to communicate, reading between the lines to make sure that they're all on the same wavelength. And this is secondary school, right? So all my good friends, and we still hang out nowadays. We just met 3 weeks ago in Sraburi, the reunion, and we wear the Tao Dang, the red, gray color, which symbolize Prasad Mit. And that kind of friendship, called unconditional friendship, lasted very long. So I was thankful to have all of them as my friends. But I would like to talk about skills that you get out of classroom. Physics. Who study physics here? Raise your hand. What skill do you get out of physics? Yeah, what kind of skill do you get? Soft skill that you get out of physics. Let me show you. Physics gives me a person to have good reasoning, to be a logical person in the sense physics. Reaction is equal to action, that kind of stuff, right? You have to be very rational to get good at physics. Math gives me logical thinking. There are so many ways that you can prove the theory. So many ways, right? N to the power of 0 is 1. Y to the 0 is 1. There are so many ways to prove. And they love doing that. English gives us analysis, synthesis, prefix, suffix, how to make verb out of noun or adjective, rich and rich, large and large. That kind of stuff. If you are good enough, you can synthesize, you can make your own word in the sense that people still understand what you're talking about. Chemistry, creative thinking, right? Reactants go to product. What kind of products you will get out of your reactants? Imagination sometimes. And biology, you get to know how you tell your stories, how things are connected. So that kind of stuff, in addition to getting to know about Newton's law, geophysics, organic chemistry, you get to practice that kind of skill as well, And I was nominated to enter into a lot of inter-school competition about general knowledge, academic. So I get to, like you guys, like what you're doing here, I get to build my own network, And believe it or not, the network that was built 40 years ago are still there. I still hang out with, I still talk to those people who I met when I entered that kind of inter-school competition. So make sure that you collect all the skills, all the experience today, tomorrow, Friday, because that will be time of your life, I guarantee. The other skill that I got out of this is the time management, because I had so limited time, right, to do many things, right? And then I need to do things that matter most, very important. And that skill will get you very far once you go to undergrad school, once you go to work. You have many things to do, so you have to prioritize what you think is important. And I would like to talk about the other game changer. This is when I got the scholarship, because the King Scholarship, I'm not that smart. I was very good at taking exam. That's why I got the scholarship. But I was very well prepped when it comes to interview or general knowledge. So the King Scholarship is one of the most prestigious scholarships in the country. It's the eldest one as well, because I think it was founded by King Rama V, I believe, back then, 100 years ago plus, because at that point in time, only noble people, wealthy people, or royal family members people who were sent abroad, overseas for education. Lay people like us, difficult. So the king would like to encourage people to have overseas studies, so he found that kind of scholarship. And it was coming all along, suspended for a little while, and then resumed in the year of 1965 by King Rama IX. So I got a scholarship. There were 6 people in my year. I think one was missing here, At that point in time, when you went abroad, you have to dress very formally with the garland, but no longer like this nowadays, And this is my parents, my mom and my dad, my teacher. So that kind of is a game changing, it's a game changer. It's a life-altering event for me, because I got to live by myself. First time I had to be abroad by myself, and then I was a well-pampered son because of my health. So I was wondering how I could survive being by myself in the next many more years to come. But at that point in time, excitement always overcome worry. So we decided to go. I still recall vividly that I was very busy doing many things, and the day of departure, I looked at my mom in my bedroom and I cried, because I never thought that I was going to be away from home, because things were quite busy for the preparation. I didn't have time to think that I'm leaving, So I looked at her, she looked at me, and we cried. That's actually crying. After that, I was okay. But I think the people who left behind the country were so worried about me, And this is the high school that I went. Because of, I wanted to get into good school. So I need to go to a prep school. It's called Short Rosemary Hall. All the King Scholar normally went to many schools, like all the Exeter and Dover schools, so that they can take exam, get good grades, write good essays, and apply to good college. This is called Short Rosemary Hall in Wallingford, Connecticut. Very beautiful, in the middle of nowhere, right? I got to learn many things, make many friends. But my proudest moment at this school is not that I got into MIT, but my proudest moment in this school is when we went to the prom. She's my date, Rosa. My proudest moment is I was voted to be a favorite immigrant at the prom. How could it be, right? I was there for only less than a year. I was voted to be the most popular international student at that prom. So that actually, gave me a lot of pride, Still now, and this is my good friend Ken here. Here's Ken. And Ken, I still keep in touch even nowadays. He lives in Gloucester, which is not far away from Boston, where I went to undergrad school. So I got into MIT. Yeah, MIT. And things were a lot different at MIT. MIT is in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is across the river from Boston. There's a Charles River in between Boston and Cambridge. And I studied course 10. This is 10, see? This is course 10. This is Pam, Peter, and myself. We were teammates, living in the same dorm. Everything in MIT goes by number. Course 10 is chemical engineering. Course 1 is civil. Course 2, mechanical. Course 3, material science. Course 4, architecture. Course 5, chemistry. I still remember that. And everything is go by number. The course 10, 14, 10, 15, So it's quite a very numerically-driven school. But I learned so much from MIT, and I have made good friends. It's quite a drastic change, actually, because undergrad is where your brain start to bloom, to blow, to foster. So you have to make sure that you go to school that will accommodate your learning. For me, undergrad is the most critical step where you go. If you get to go to a good school, you get to talk to people, you get to be trained how to do the thinking process, methodically, systematic thinking. So I was thankful that I went to MIT, because that's where I cultivated my knowledge, my skill, and my belief, my thinking, and that's how I was molded, And I would like to show you, this is my Thai friends, this is my Farang friends, And this is like the Kresge Auditorium. right there is one of the concert hall. It's designed by the Finnish American, I think, architect. Very beautiful one, Presque Auditorium. And this is my building, the triangle called Building 66, designed by I.M. Pei, Singapore architect, very famous one. I.M. Pei designed that Building 66. And you see, what can you see behind me? What can you see? Huh? Can you see MIT? Can you see M? M-I-T. See how clever I.M. Pei was? Yeah, so who said that? Maybe Kun Patvirod will give away the bottle to the one who participated in my engagement. MIT, so that everything has meaning at MIT, every little things has meaning. And this is the lab, my friend. And then I further my study to study at Penn. Maybe next slide. Penn in Philadelphia. Penn is one of the, I think, the fourth eldest school in the country. Founded in 1740, one of the 8 Ivy League schools in the U.S. And Penn is a bit different from MIT in Philadelphia. Penn has a lot of schools, medical school, dentist school, and you get to do a lot of learnings across those schools. My parents, and I did my PhD on automotive catalysis, and that's my lab. And what I learned from Penn is, or from grad school is, you have to be able to be resilient. You fail many times doing this lab, many times. You fail and then you have to come back, because otherwise things will never be the same, right? You have to have that kind of strong determination to fall, look back, have that kind of stamina, have that kind of strong endurance. Because once you start doing research, the first 2 years are coursework, very easy. The last 3 years are doing research, so sometimes things do not go according to your prediction. So you have to redo the whole thing. But that actually taught me how to be optimistic, how to start the new project on Friday night. I still recall my advisor, Dr. Ray Gotti. If you're good enough, you never give up. Even though you have to start the project on Friday night, just do it. I still recall his saying. And that's how I connect all the dots, how things are related at Penn. And along my journey, I actually visited many places. This is where if you like nature, the U.S. is a good place for you, right? The Art National Park in Utah, this is D.C., this is Acadia National Park in Maine. I got the privilege to do a retreat, spiritual retreat, with Ajahn Saro in 1995. It's a 6-day hiking and cleansing my mind. So it was a very well attended event. This is Grand Canyon, this is Salt Lake, and this is Rosemary Hall. So I got to enjoy a bit of nature during my time as well. Okay, so I finished Penn within 5 years, thanks God. I came back in 1997 and started working for ExxonMobil. And you may wonder why I chose ExxonMobil as a workplace, right? First, I think it's a global company, and there are a lot of opportunities out there. And coming from study abroad for 10 years, I think it may fit me better. And I continue to be myself. And there's so much opportunity out there, right, for the global company. You get different workforce, different skill set. You get to be exposed to many people, and there are a variety of products, of functions that you can work for. And one thing that, to be a success in the global arena, you have to attend the workplace that believe in learning. A workplace that can be an institute. You learn new things every day. Learn from your boss, learn from your peers, learn from your suppliers, learn from your direct reports. You keep learning every day. You're collecting experience all the way, and you get to do new things every day. And there should be a very systematic mechanism to unleash your potential. You know what I mean? Unleash potential. Somebody will have to know that you're good at it, but you have not expressed your full capacity yet. So what is a work process to unleash your full capacity? I think you have to look for that kind of organization, so that you can fully utilize your capacity, and because it's important for you to learn new stuff every day, right? You get older every day, and then you have more service years, so people expect more from you at the workplace, right? If you are a newcomer, okay, this is good enough. But once you have 10 years experience, they expect a lot more from you. So make sure that you spend time every day learning new things, practicing new skills, because otherwise it may be too late, if you're still doing a lot of la-la things, not so serious about things. The other thing that I think is a key success to work in the global company or global arena is there should be a mechanism for your people to give you feedback, like your teachers or like the judge will give you feedback tomorrow or Friday, because the feedback is a gift, so that you can do your self-assessment whether or not what you're doing is good enough, and then you keep improving yourself every day. Yeah, okay, so I would like to talk about my workplace a little bit, like this is, I am so proud of the products, Mobile One products, so like you have to be that kind of sense of pride, sense of belonging in your workplace, so you feel happy going there, right? And like this one, you work in the global company, you get to interact with a lot of expertise coming from, this is Urchisa, the vice president of our low carbon solution business in Singapore. He came here at the Queen's Circuit Center for the Future Energy Trend last year. This is where I actually give a talk at the PPC, Petroleum and Petrochemical College and Petromac about the energy transition. And that kind of, like me pointing there, right? Very college of conviction, you have to say what you believe in a polite way anyway, right? And this happened at the PTAT Public Forum. This one actually happened here in SM earlier this year when I was providing some feedback to the organization, how to improve the work process and so on. And last but not least, we had the Pride Week last June, and then we celebrate that kind of inclusion with many friends. So I mean, that kind of workplace that you say should encourage you to do that kind of stuff, pay back to the society, make sure that people around you have fruitful discussion, healthy challenge. It's okay to challenge people in a polite way, growing together, team effort, learning from everybody, reverse mentoring. Sometimes I got my direct report to teach me how to do things. You have to have that kind of open-minded, to teach them, and sometimes ask them to teach us. And I think maybe next one is I would like to talk to provide you the tips. This is the key page, keys to success in the global arena, right? After all the collective knowledge and experience, grammar school, secondary school, high school, prep school, MIT, Penn, ExxonMobil. I would like to summarize that these are the key things to success. First and foremost, you have to be yourself. Be authentic, be genuine, right? You have to be truthful to who you are. But people change over time, right? So you have to be truthful to who you are. You have to willing to change. Second one, willing to change. You have to see the need to adapt yourself, because things keep changing, right? things moving at very fast pace, and be part of the change, as a change agent, Then learning, continue to learn, de-learn, and de-learn sometime. What I have learned in the past may no longer be relevant, 30 years ago. So you have to de-learn and relearn it, So you have to do some assessment periodically to make sure that what you learn is still valid, Sometimes you need to let go what you learn, let go what you learn and embrace the new skill and knowledge. Because what you did well in the past may no longer valid, Okay to say, I don't know, day one, right? No one is perfect at day one, right? But you need to show constant improvement. Time is precious. As we have some, like honeymoon period, right? Once you get certain time, then people would expect more from you. Be agile. What do you mean by be agile, Okay. Nong Nui, is quick. Very good. You have to be quick, Right. Don't let perfection hinder your progress. Do things in parallel, not series. Be quick. Constant look for new opportunities, new ways of doing things. There's always something. Please. But then somebody needs to give him some microphone. Okay.
I just answered your question a while ago. I don't know why he gave me the mic.
Do you have a question?
No.
Okay, never mind. Okay. Winning mindset. The third one, winning mindset. No need to win all the time. It's okay to accept the loss sometime. It's okay to take a few steps back and move forward as a team together to a bigger win. Think about it. At the end, it's all about the team working. Together we excel, as we say. Opportunities are out there. You have to walk towards it. You have to reach to get it. Being optimistic, go find it. But you have to look for it and believe in it. Next is gratitude. Yeah, I came from the family who believe in gratitude. I never take things for granted. The reason I'm here today because I have all my team right there. Right? I have my parents, I have my professors, my teachers, everything. My pets, as a pet therapy sometimes. So I never take things for granted. So show your gratitude. Because there's always something to be grateful for. If you think about it. We cannot accomplish by ourselves. We only a small part of the global. So we need many parts together, like a jigsaw puzzle. You need many pieces together to compose all the beautiful scenery at the end. Strike a good balance. Nowadays, people talk about work-life balance. What does it mean? Only you know. Because if you work too hard, what happened? What happened if you work too hard? Any hand? You? What happened if you work too hard? Day in, day out. What will happen to you? Okay.
If you work too hard, you're gonna be unhealthy. You're gonna have problem with your health, and also you work too hard, you won't have time to enjoy your life.
Oh,
Yes.
very nice. Yes. Yeah. น้องหนุ่ยให้เขา Okay. All right. You get burned out sometime, right? If you don't pace yourself very well, people nowadays, they get burned out easily at the age of late 20s, early 90s. They really burn out. They work so hard, So you have to pace yourself very well. Strike a good balance, living in moderation, and then because that will actually last your longer at the end of the day. And last but not least, be kind to yourself. Very important. You have to love yourself first before you start loving other human beings, right? It's the greatest love of all. So you have to be kind, be compassionate to yourself. Yourself has to be filled first before you can actually allocate some additional passion, love to other people. But the other one is I would like to give you some tips is also be kind to the unkind. Be kind to the unkind as they want it the most. Be kind to yourself and be kind to the unkind. That's how I overcome my personal conflicts sometimes. So with that, I hope that my PEP Talk, PEP stands for pepper, right, is tasty, spicy enough. If you get dehydrated, sip some water after my talk. If you get thirsty, consume some beverage. If you're not, that means my PEP Talk need to put more some spice for the next round. But good luck with the contest. Ask yourself what you want to get out of this contest. How do you define victory? The trophy? Experience? Networking? Friends? You name it, right? Often in time, once you start working, the victory is not the eventual product or the outcome. For example, if you want to climb the mountain, reach the summit of the Mount Everest, right? If you define your victory as to reach at the summit of the Everest, and you get the bird eye view, nice view, then life is too dry. You have to enjoy the butterfly, the flowers, the roses, the singing birds along the way to the mountain. That's how you can maintain yourself in this kind of world. Cherish everything. Be grateful to everything. Because I believe that there are a lot of valuable things along the way. For today, tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow night, Friday, right? So please take time and look for it. Look for the treasures. Look for the friendship. Look for the networking, because at the end of the day, I speak from my own experience. I got many trophies. They're sitting on the shelf, But what stick with me up until now is a friendship. It's experience. It's a networking. It's a good feelings inside myself. Having hung out with those people who I compete with, So with that, I hope that you have a good time and you will enjoy this contest. And as I mentioned, please take time to look for the treasures and collect each of them along the way. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taweesak Bunluesin. Very nice talk and very inspiring talk as well.
Spicy or not spicy?
Spicy.
Thank you. I hope it's spicy enough.
I guess we still have some time for Q&A. If you have any questions or comments,
I think we have bottles to give away. I think a few more left. For anyone. Okay. Hands up. Please introduce yourself and the country you're from as well. You are the face of the country now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Media. I am from Indonesia. Thank you so much for the insightful and
My
spicy
pleasure.
talk.
Oh, thank you.
It was very motivational for us. I have one question. As someone who received a very good education here and abroad, how do you see the differences between education here in Asian countries, especially in Thailand, compared to those very famous and best universities in the world? Thank you.
Yeah. I can speak only on behalf of myself, who received this education 30 years ago. So my answer may not be longer, because I believe that nowadays the education is not that much different anymore. But back then, I recall when I first went to Short Rosemary Hall, the prep school, it's already wealthy and beautiful people went there. Michael Douglas, Glenn Close, JFK Jr. were alumni of Short Rosemary Hall. In fact, Michael Douglas went to the alumni weekend when I was there as well, So, but leave alone that kind of celebrity, right? I think what I learned from receiving the education overseas is the thinking, the critical thinking, the writing. Because English is a very concise language. If you are blurry, if you have no idea what you're talking about, it will show in your essay. So you have to separate your thinking very well before you actually start to compose any essay or any story. And I think what I learned from MIT. MIT is like one of my good friends at MIT wrote in the annual yearbook that one day at MIT is 2 days for some of those schools. So what I learned from MIT is time management. I was a very geeky, nerdy student. I always work. I only go out on Friday night and Saturday night, And I'm still regretful that I didn't get to be exposed to Boston as much as other people, So what I learned, but my Farang friends, I think they tend to explore the city a little bit more. So I think what I learned from MIT is the time management. You have to be able to do things that matter the most. But I believe nowadays things have changed a lot. In the past, people who graduate from overseas like me, many of my friends decide to stay back in the US. But nowadays, I think the market is in AP. So they come back and work for Singapore, China, Hong Kong. So things have evolved. Yeah. But whatever you study, wherever you stay, please make sure that you ask yourself whether or not what you think is right, whether or not what you have learned new things along the way, and then you get to practice that kind of skill. Being surrounded by people who will foster your growth, who will accommodate your growing in all aspects. Bottle for her already? Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. Any
A very
other
good question.
questions?
Okay.
In the front.
Please introduce yourself and the country where you're from.
Yes, I'm from Myanmar.
Myanmar, very
Yes.
good.
Yes. I have a question that you told me that you gave a spicy talk. Now in my mind and my motivation is spicy, really spicy. But maybe tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, my spicy will be slowed down. So how can I continue my spicy motivation the whole life?
Thank you for the question. Degradation is a fact of life.
Yes.
Nothing stay. So things will be spicy,
Yeah.
and then less spicy, and spicy again, and less spicy. So it's a fact of life, and you don't need to have that spicy all the time. Otherwise, you get dehydrated. You need so much water, right? So you have to have kind of spicy, and then peace of mind, and spicy, and then serenity, and then spicy. But I believe that, each moment have their own way of doing things. Like this kind of forum PEP Talk, I need to be spicy. Otherwise, people start yawning and sleeping, right? I need to wake you guys up, But for some other places, you don't need to be that spicy. Maybe we need some kind of peace of mind so that you can concentrate on what you're doing. So things keep changing, not one size fit all, But thanks for the question. Bottle?
It's okay.
Thank you.
Any other question? We still have a few more minutes.
Okay.
Right here.
Here from. One last question, no?
Okay, wait, maybe one here first.
Maybe two last questions.
Yes, two last questions.
Thank you for your motivational speech, your spicy speech. But I want to ask that what is your biggest obstacle that you faced, your most least spicy moment, and how did you overcome it? How did you keep the things go spicy all the
Yeah.
way?
Wow, very good.
By the way, I'm not typically spicy. I'm only spicy today. Because, I'm a very normal person, I love my routine. I wake up at the same time, I jog, I eat, I hang out with certain friends, So my life, it's not that spicy, right? But how to maintain a colorful life and how to maintain your life, I think you have to understand what you want to do in your life. For example, I have my goal in my life, and then whether or not what you're doing today will support your eventual goal, So I'm not sure if I answered the question, but as a kid like you, I think you have plenty of time to be spicy, to be colorful, to be adventurous. So please explore everything you want to do. You're still young and naive and ruthless. You still have many more years to go. So try new things. Have courage of conviction to try new things, to do things that what you believe. And if it doesn't work out, so bad. Move on. For me, I have much experience, much older than you, so I have to be selective when it comes to selecting activities. But be bold. trust your heart, be yourself, be genuine, be truthful to what you believe and what you feel.
And I think I share the same question with them. Like, do you have any obstacle in life? Like any story that you can share with us where you might fall or fail and then you bounce back? I think that's like another good learning process as well, that you learn from the failure or maybe like, you know,
Yeah.
mistakes, and then you bounce back. If you can share with them, that would be.
I had like, when I was at grad school, you know, like at Penn, I was doing this, you know, like automotive catalyst work, you know, and coming along, I thought it was going well. I was about to publish the paper. You know, turned out to be the fact that, you know, like some of the results were artifact, not real. You know, and then like, I spent a year doing this, you know, and then it was when I recall, you know, like calling my mom back home, ask the fortune teller to see my future, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, like I need that kind of, you know, like advice to see what has been going on with my star. Why all of a sudden it fell, right? But leave alone that fortune teller prediction, which is quite accurate, you know. But then I have to learn how to be resilient. I think that's the skill that you have to learn, because people will fail no matter what. Once you start living a life, you will fail no matter what, one way or another. So you have to be able to encourage yourself. Learn from it. People can make a mistake, but we need to learn from it. Failing is okay, you know, but not repeat failure. Failing once is okay, you learn from it, and then that's how we grow, right? People who never make any mistake are people who never take any action. You know, people who make no decision, meaning they make a decision that they will do nothing. So go for it and accept the consequence. Make sure that once you do something, you get good ground, you get good justification why you want to do this, and then go for it.
Yeah, and one last question.
One last question.
Hi, good day. My question is actually related to the past two questions. You mentioned in one of your keys to success, the opportunities are out there, right?
Say again, please.
You mentioned in your keys to success, opportunities are out there. In relation to that, so how do we strike a balance between chasing opportunities and having a sense of contentment with one's career, for example?
Yeah. This one, I think it varies from each person, and it depends on the stage of life as well. For example, once you were much younger, then we tend to chase for opportunities more, right? If you don't like to work for this and you withdraw, you resign and you work for other companies, right? But once you get older, like investment, many plan of investment. Once you get older, you tend to invest on the more conserved scheme. You know, but believe me, even at this point of age, there's still some opportunities. Sometimes we think that, you know, we hopeless. No, got to have dream. Even at the age of 50 something, you still need some dream to look for opportunities. You have to look for it and believe that it's there, right? You have dream? You do, right? Yeah, I hope everyone has a dream, you know, and then I hope that everyone will fulfill their dream. You know, at least I think you guys have so much privilege to be together. I look at your faces, you're all like bright and future of the country, of your respective country. So make sure that you spend time worthily every single minute at NSM, you know, and then you have the time of your life, I guarantee. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the spiciest talk today
ครับ
from
ขอบคุณครับ
Dr. Taweesak Bunluesin. May I please invite you to join the students down here so we can get a group picture from the top. Yes,
Okay.
down
Hey.
the stage, please.
Let me selfie real quick.
Oh, that's more like interesting way. Right. So he's gonna do a groupie from the stage. If you're ready.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Smile.
Okay, maybe you act spicy, huh? Be creative.
Okay,
Act spicy.
If you're ready.
One more.
3, 2, 1, spicy.
Oh, now I'm dehydrated.
Thank you so much.
ครับ
once
ขอบคุณ
again.
ครับ
Big
สวัสดี
round of
ครับ
applause